5 Things to Know, a Tax Talk Today exclusive. I'm joined today by Terry Lemons. Terry joined the IRS 25 years ago and is currently the Chief Communications and Liaison, or C&L division. As Chief of C&L, he serves as a principal advisor to the Commissioner and Deputy Commissioners and oversees the Offices of Communications, Legislative Affairs, Stakeholder Liaison, National Public Liaison, as well as other functions working closely with the leadership of the IRS business units. Terry, on behalf of our viewers, it's my pleasure to welcome you to Tax Talk Today, where IRS representatives and tax industry leaders come together to share their knowledge and experiences working in federal tax law. As a career practitioner, I really appreciate your work with C&L's communications and outreach to promote the understanding of the agency's missions and goals, helping taxpayers understand and meet their responsibilities. Terry, I'd really love to ask you a bit more about your responsibilities with C&L division, but first, I have a few other questions that are more pressing right now, and that is, what is National Security Awareness Week? When is it going to happen? And why does the IRS conduct this program?
Yeah, thanks for having me. National Tax Security Awareness Week is a really important event for the IRS, as well as our partners in the state tax agencies and really tax professionals and the entire tax industry. It takes place at the end of November, starting November 28th. And basically, it's a week-long focus on security. And this is why it's important for the tax professional community. Scam artists are out there. They are trying to figure out new and innovative ways of getting your client information and basically using that information to file fraudulent tax returns. So the Security Summit effort and this special emphasis week at the end of November is really designed to help raise awareness about simple, basic tips that tax pros and average taxpayers can take to protect themselves and their valuable information.
Well, that's great. You give me a little broad spectrum there, but can you give us a little more detail on why this information security is important to the practitioner community?
Right. One of the things that we've seen, and many in the tax industry have seen this as well, is that in recent years, there's been a real onslaught of identity thieves trying to access information that they can use to file bogus refund claims. As part of the Security Summit effort, the IRS, the states, and the tax industry have worked together to strengthen our internal defenses. But a key part of this effort involves tax practitioners and making sure that people who are working tax returns for businesses, for individuals, are taking steps to protect their data and information. So this is really important. We highlight it during Tax Security Awareness Week, but really every day, tax security should be at the forefront of every tax professional. It's a real threat, not just to your business, but also to your clients.
Great information. Now, what is a Security Summit, and can you explain to us a little bit about the connection with the tax industry and what areas of the tax industry you connect with?
Yeah, that's a great question. The Security Summit dates back to 2015 when identity theft was really surging and threatening to overwhelm the entire tax industry, both at the state level and at the federal level. And the Summit partnership, for me, is one of the most exciting things that's going on in government right now. It's an innovative collaboration where the states, the IRS, tax professionals, as well as the tax software community, basically kind of trade notes in terms of what they're seeing going on with fraud. They're identifying trends, they're identifying new schemes, sharing that information in the aggregate so we can all protect our defenses on things. And that basically makes it harder for these fraud artists to come in and actually successfully get a fraudulent refund. But again, a key part of this is tax professionals making sure that they protect their systems and their data, and their employees are aware of these steps to take too.
Good to know. Now, every year when I renew my P10, I have to check a box that acknowledges that I have a security plan in place. Now, what is the latest material that the IRS has developed to help with that?
Yeah, that's another great point. So there's more there than just checking that box. And one of the things is we've been talking to tax professionals through our work with the Security Summit and through our IRS outreach work. We've gotten a lot of questions, especially from smaller firms and practitioners, about that security plan. What does it look like? What does it need? And, look, tax professionals are busy every day trying to keep up with tax law changes, taking care of their clients. Security is one of those things that, it can be overhead. It can take up time. So we worked very closely with tax professionals through the Security Summit effort to come up with a sample template plan, a written information security plan, or WISP, and basically give people a template that they can use, that they can tailor for their own specific situations. And this is something our tax pro partners have been working really hard on for quite some time. We've got the information up on irs.gov. It's publication 5708. So we really encourage people to take a look at it, especially if they don't have a security plan in place already. It's a great place to go and get some important tips and also satisfy a requirement.
Great. Now, finally, for the last question, I wish I could have more time to have a conversation with you, but trying to keep this limited as I have to. Tell us some of the latest tips tax professionals should know and actions that we should be taking or can take.
That is so important. That is so important. We continue to see these fraud artists out there. They are like a virus. They mutate, they change schemes, they look for new ways to trick people into sharing information. And as the Security Summit effort has strengthened IRS and state defenses, the software defenses, these fraud artists have figured out that tax pros are a Pandora's box of information. So as tax season approaches, watch out for emails and attachments. Don't open those, especially if they look suspicious, but be on the lookout for odd things. These guys will even come in and pose as clients, trying to trick you into clicking on links, opening attachments, things like that. The other thing is make sure your security software is up to date. It's so important. And don't overlook educating employees, new people coming on for tax season, even sometimes veteran employees. I mean, look, in my family, I've got folks that are technology challenged, and I know a lot of firms, you've got people with varying degrees of sophistication. Make sure you take the time to remind them about these things.
Very important, folks. I can't tell you how many emails or texts I get on a regular basis that I just know are not for real. Now, I do go over that with my staff on a regular basis. When I see something that's new, I make sure I alert my staff, just to take a picture of it, send it out as a screenshot so they can see what it is as well. We have too much information in our systems, and that's just a given. So it's important that we follow these rules, and I do appreciate that. Well, this has been a really great conversation, Terry. Thank you so much for joining us on 5 Things to Know. On behalf of our viewers, I want to thank you for your service with the IRS, particularly as Chief C&L Division. Your work in this role really benefits the IRS, the tax preparer community, and our nation's taxpayers. Thanks again, and we look forward to having you back on another Tax Talk Today program. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and as always, it's been great learning with you. Be sure to join us again on an upcoming Tax Talk Today program.